Hello everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. It's a cool, cloudy day here today, and I wanted to do a video on how I changed some things up due to the weather forecast. Today, the high is supposed to be 48 degrees here, which is about 8 degrees Celsius. So I adjusted some things this morning with my watering schedule. This morning, my phals that are in bark over here really needed some water. It was a very warm, sunny day yesterday, and it got warm here on my sunroom yesterday afternoon. So these definitely needed some water this morning. So what I did, instead of adding fertilizer to their water, is I just added 1/8 of a teaspoon of Epsom salts to the water, and that's what they are soaking in right now. What I'll do is I'll just water them with that little tiny bit of Epsom salts, and in that solution I let them sit for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then I drain them. So I don't use fertilizers on days that it's not very warm back here. Now, in 2 days, we're supposed to have a 70-degree day, which is like 20 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to wait till that day to do my fertilizing. And the other thing that I changed around today is Wednesday is usually copper fungicide day for my cattleyas and my vandas. And as you see, this is not a good day to be spraying anything on my leaves. So I'm going to wait until Friday, until it gets really warm and I'm able to open up some windows back here, and then I'll spray the copper fungicide on that day. So if you're asking why I added the Epsom salts, the 1/8 of a teaspoon per gallon of Epsom salts to my water this morning, is I believe this one needs a little bit of magnesium. Just a few weeks ago, about a month ago, I noticed this spike here was purple. So I knew it needed some magnesium. And if you do that from time to time, actually I'm just fertilizing, and then the next time that I need to water, I put that little tiny bit of Epsom salts in my water, and I can tell that my plants are really thriving with that. They do need that little bit of extra magnesium, especially after they've been blooming. But if you put it in your water every other time at a very small dose, it will keep you from having magnesium deficiency, which is really what you're after. And here's my new leaf on Phal Legato, and as you see, it does have a pink tinge to it. This is a brand new leaf, and Phal Legato is that beautiful bright salmon colored bloom. Now I know this plant. I've had this plant for 6 years now, and when she gets a new leaf like this, usually when it first starts coming out, it's usually a little bit pink. So this is normal for this plant. So I wanted to show you that when you have orchids that have a red bloom or a bright pink bloom, sometimes when the leaf first starts coming out, it is a little bit reddish or pink. It kind of mimics the bloom a little bit. So this is totally normal for this plant. So these are the conditions today in my sunroom. It's 46 outside. It's 72 inside. I have 2 heaters that are set for 74. They have thermostats on them. I'm going to show those to you. But do you see here, I've got 48% humidity. It normally runs about 50 to 52% humidity. I know that many of you have asked me what my humidity runs back here, and that's pretty normal for this time of the year. So that's the reason why from time to time I am spraying some roots down with some water, misting them with some water to just kind of give those air roots a little drink of water because the humidity is down a little bit from what it normally is. And this is the type of heater that I'm using. I really like these because these have a thermostat on them. They turn off automatically. They shut on automatically as well. So 2 of these heat this room, which is 16 by 13 feet. So this keeps this room warm. I tried last year just using one heater and it just didn't work. It just overtaxed the heater too much, and there's oil inside of this heater as well. It's electric, but it heats up oil inside of this heater. So it was just too much for one heater. So two heaters, they're working really well back here. So I'm glad I figured that out. So many times growing your orchids, you just have to figure out the conditions, what you need to add to your room. Little things like adding the humidity bowls, like I mentioned in yesterday's videos, they can make a big difference in your orchid growing and make it a lot easier on you. So just some additional thoughts about a cool and cloudy day like this. I don't like to get the foliage wet on any of my orchids. I save foliar feeding for the spring and summer, where I know that foliage is going to dry out really quickly, because I don't want to set up any type of bad environment for my orchids. So I do keep my orchids clean though. And I'm asked a lot, how do I have these shiny leaves? All I use is a drop of Ivory dishwashing liquid on a damp paper towel. That keeps them clean, and it also helps to keep pests off of them. If you have a few eggs on the back of a leaf and you use a soapy paper towel, you get rid of them. So it also helps to keep the insects away from your plants, which is always a good thing. And as I'm sitting here talking, I'm noticing that this bud right here is starting to come out. Just a note on vanda blooms. When they first bloom out, they're rather small. As a matter of fact, the first time that I had a vanda rebloom for me, at first I thought, oh my gosh, I must have done something wrong because these blooms are so small. They grow over the next few weeks. They grow to regular size vanda blooms. And it's really interesting to watch those blooms get larger. It's the coolest thing. Okay, let me do one more shot of these beautiful blooms on Vanda Tayani cerise. I noticed the other day a few of the blooms on the bottom of the spike were fading, so I need to take plenty of pictures of her while she still has these blooms. So you all have a fabulous day and be highly favored, deeply loved, and greatly blessed. And thank you so much for watching.